be live now.
Hello and welcome to the Thursday show here on the Frontline Gaming Network. My name is Paul Murphy, your host. I'm joined by Dustin Hinshaw.
Hello, everybody.
And Adam Camilleri.
Evening, everyone.
We are your weekly meta rundown every Thursday night, 9 p.m. Eastern Time. We tell you what's coming up over the weekend. We tell you what's going to be there. We're going to tell you some notable players. And we're going to tell you how to beat it, maybe.
Maybe.
Actually, maybe. Certifiable.
Absolutely.
It's true. We actually have undeniably. Yeah, undeniably. You have no proof to the contrary.
We talk about the meta. We have a series of events that we run down. I said we are going to talk about the army list you're going to see, but the responses, how things are evolving. If we were right from the last show, actually, we don't even have to see if we were right from the last show because we know we were.
Yep, 100%. We nailed it every time.
Thanks for joining us.
Apologies for my camera right now. I don't know why that's so grainy. This is like a top-shelf webcam. I don't know what's going on.
That's just what it's like in Australia. He's not actually in Australia, but
everybody's
just grainy there. It's not a filter. They're just grainy people. That's what they look like.
I'm just generally
a couple of us are on the road. We're not in our normal recording spots, but it's very important that we bring you this up-to-the-minute heartbeat information that we have coming from around the world. I mean, that's one of the pleasures of talking about this stuff is looking at the list for Warhammer 40K, team events, singles events, figuring out what's happening all around the globe and how players are participating with this.
And this is going to be a bumper week. We have 3 100-plus player events happening in 3 continents of the world. We have Canada, we have Down Under, my lovely Australia, and we have Heartland Europe, all having multiplayer 6-round events. And one of them being over 100 players 6-round events. One of them being a teams event as well, which our lovely Dustin Henshaw is in attendance at.
Yay! My favorite event. I love this event so much. I'm so excited. And it's my last event for quite a while, so I'm
Why would that be, mate?
Because I'm gonna be a father in about a month or two.
Little meta baby right there.
Little meta baby, yeah, that's right. My little familiar.
Look, you got plenty of time to paint all your rock saws or whatever.
Yeah.
You're waiting on to be able to
hey, all my GSC's painted. I'm gonna pick up some nigs.
I'm sure you can need it. What do they call them? Space lasers.
Seismic cannons, Paul.
Yeah.
One day.
Red grinders? I don't know.
Red grinders?
So where's War Games Live going to be? We try to keep a watch on Joe. He's going to be at the Art of War Streamhouse, RTT. 8 of the top players, double eliminations, no double factions.
He's over there, guys.
8 of the top players and Adam Camilleri.
So 7 of the top players and myself already having lost and my first ding of elimination out of the way. Turns out going second against Tau on the scouring, and it's Richard Siegler. No bueno.
You're playing with your back against the wall. Who doesn't play better from that position?
Well, I got nothing to lose. These boys, I told Richard, mate, you lose to me, you lose like shit. I beat you. I'm a god. I got nothing to lose here.
It's true.
Everything to play for.
I love it with playing with nothing left to lose, but also look at you in there swinging away with the top contenders. Absolutely awesome.
We're proud of you.
We're proud. Like I said, sometimes we talk about y'all being the meta. Sometimes we are the meta.
That's right.
Well, we're doing Dustin's team for Can Hammer teams, so we're going to talk about how his lists are meta and going to try and unpack what he took.
All the meta that we took.
If you were just joining us for the first time, or listen to us after the fact, we do this live. We have a great chat community. Come check us out the next time we do it, wherever we do it. But more to do on that later on. I want to talk about what we have going on over the course of this weekend. We're going to be talking about the Firebug Open in Ettlenberg, Germany. Sources tell me it is in Europe.
It's also not Ettlenberg.
Oh. Oh yeah, it is. Ettlingen.
Ettlingen.
Oh, we even practiced.
We practiced it and everything.
Rarely.
We did.
We
all got it wrong
before we go live. And I thought I wasn't looking at the notes. I was I thought I nailed it. And
legitimately not that far from London.
Totally.
It's about 650 miles.
650? Is that what we're going with?
650 miles.
650?
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. From
Can't,
London.
can't be a hop, skip, and a jump more than 650.
Okay. It is going to be.
It's
It's loading right
159
now.
players, 6-round event.
Oh, did you look it up, Adam? Is that
536 miles.
Oh, so
over
close.
100 miles
So
off?
close.
Oh,
100
You can
no.
drive that in an hour. Use the Autobahn. You just get right on it. You're
Yeah,
there in
absolutely.
like
That's true.
30
The Autobahn
minutes.
is
I was
there.
within 40 minutes. Guess.
Definitely.
Yeah.
I do love the idea of just getting on an Autobahn and just seeing what your car does. Just like foot to the floor. Who knows? Who knows what it can do?
It's scary.
It's 159 players. Dustin, would you mind telling us what we're going to see there?
Of course. The quick and dirty stats, the Imperial Supervisor, we're going to be seeing 3 Sisters of Battle, 9 Custodes, 2 Admech, 15 Astra Militarum, 4 Grey Knights, 4 Imperial Knights, Space Marines, there's 8 Dark Angels, 2 Space Wolves, 2 Blood Angels, 2 Black Templars, 13 Iron Hands. Okay, I'm guessing this is a shooting gallery.
So, how many gladiators are in this list is what I'm going to know.
Yeah, man.
26.
Yeah.
2 each, I think.
Yeah,
Give or
okay,
take.
good. Yeah, good guess. Yeah.
1 Death Watch. Chaos, there's 4 Chaos Space Marines, 2 T-Suns, 5 Death Guard, 9 World Eaters, and 12 Demons. That's interesting. And then 5 Renegade Knights. Xenos, there's 5
Demon's been on a
Necrons.
tear recently.
They have been.
Absolutely.
Yeah, for sure. Xenos, there's 5 Necrons, 8 Orcs, 4 Tau, and 9 Votan. The shooting gallery back again, except for those Orcs.
Mm-hmm.
Hive Mind, there's 7 Tyranids. Whoa, 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 whoa. They're back. They're still here. 2 GSC. What? Wow, okay. Eldari is a 4 Drukhari, 3 Harlequins, 12 Assyriani, and 3 Yanari, meaning the faction podium is Astra Militarum at the top with 15. No real surprise. Iron Hands in second with 13. Again, no real surprise. Assyriani and Demons in third with 12, though. You sure this isn't Australia? Because this seems upside down.
Holy crap, is this Dakar intensive? You add Votan to that, 9 Votan as well. Like, just please try and not get exploded, everybody. Well, did the guys were like, we liked Adepticon so much we wanted to recreate it at home.
Adepticon was awesome.
So seeing 9 Votan actually is kind of an anomaly compared to everything else, the big shooting stuff, and then what do you pick what goes well into that? And I think that's why we're seeing some demons, because the demons have those interesting saves that don't get manipulated a lot.
For sure.
I do think GSC and GSC are kind of shooting as well, but the big counters to the shooting about it is, of course, Deathwing, Terminators, GSC, and to my mind, demons, predominantly Zinch demons, but all the demons essentially are good enough. I think demons are the one I'd pick. If I wanted one list to count as a Dakar meta, demons would be the one I would pick, just because they got such ability to wrap, trap, stay safe in reserve, arrive close, get charges. Absolutely great. I would have assumed this was on WTC terrain, which isn't amazing for Dakar. It's okay, but it's not as good as player place generally for Dakar armies. But this is a lot of it's a lot of gun.
Yeah, that is all the gun. Like, that is his Firebug known as a light terrain tourney. I mean, I feel like it is if this many shooting armies are going, or at least enough.
Really exploit that.
Yeah. Like, that is so much shooting. I can't imagine they'd be doing that on like heavy terrain tables, but at the same time, it's in Germany, and they're very into the WTC. So the WTC tables are not.
It's a heartland.
Yeah, so WTF?
I don't get it. I don't get it at all. Yep. This is going to be an amazing one to see what does well, but jumping over to a couple of our top players in attendance. Now, I did ask advice from a couple of notable German players, and they didn't give me any names of the big dogs in attendance. I just pulled out some lists that I liked. Shoot me if I've got them wrong, or shoot your German guys who didn't give me the
Oh, okay. So these guys. Okay, I get it. Yep.
Look at that. Pulling out. Look, I'm gonna guess. There's one tanky list, one meme, and then one shooting list.
Or 3 memes, maybe.
Okay. Okay.
That's it too. Yeah.
We shall find out together. The first one is Alexander Schroer.
You say
Schroer. Yeah, that's because it's the safest thing I can do in this position.
That's fair.
How do you pronounce this?
No, I'm not doing it. You nailed it. That was it.
Not doing it.
You nailed it.
Good
That was
enough.
perfect.
Star
That
Wars
is
seems
exactly
good.
it. That was good. Yeah.
Yeah. So he did not have listed his Hive fleet. He did have ambush predators and territorial instincts listed. I'm going to ask Dustin, does that mean he's a custom Hive fleet?
If he has both of them, yeah, he's a custom Hive fleet then.
Yeah, please feel free to
Or
look
has he
those up
picked
as I
a-
go
picked
through the
a,
list.
Oh, I know what they are.
A hybridization or whatever.
Oh,
It's,
beauty.
Yeah.
Yeah. What
the
are they, mate?
territorial instinct. That's the monsters counting as obsec, and
Yep.
ambush predators. I believe is everything can heroic as if they're a character.
Oh, so this is going to be interesting. So he's got elites as his Arcs of Omen detachment mandatory. He's got a Walkrant, 2 Neurothropes, 3 single Lictors, a single Pyrovore, 3/3/2 Screamer Killer Carnifexes.
There it is.
That's 8.
Why. That's why.
there it is. We found it, boys. And then a Tyrannocyte to assumedly lug around. Because you can put the whole unit of Screamer Killers in a Tyrannocyte, yeah?
No, it only has one.
Or is it a
monster
single
slot.
monster?
It's a single monster. Yeah.
So assumedly that'd be the Pyrovore, one of the Lictors, something like that. This is a
Or the
really
Tyrant.
interesting list.
The tyrant.
I would have assumed this is not a great list, especially looking at the meta. But then when you said about how these guys hold objectives and zone off objectives extremely well, do you want to unpack the rest of it for us, Dustin? Why is this list interesting?
Well, the Screamer Killers are very good at killing things, and they're also not easy to shift. And because they're all obsec and they're going to be heroic in anything that tries to steal it, you can't just put obsec on there and not deal with the 10 attacks of the Screamer Killer because it'll heroic into you. They're not massive enough to grab the entire objective, but they're big enough that they sit in the center. You cannot touch it without them being able to heroic into you. So
Correct.
it's actually a
that's
clever way
the
to
threat, right?
They take out the majority of a base, especially if they're in the middle, but they can even be on the edge. Like if they just move up to be just on the edge, and if you come on it, you're gonna be within 6.
Yeah, exactly.
Question for you: do they have to move as a unit of 3, or you deploy them as 3 and then they break up?
You deploy them as 3 and then they break up.
Oh,
Yeah.
sounds
Are we able
sad
to get
when
that
we
list
say
up?
it
Sorry,
that
we
way.
able to get that list up on the screen for people, mate? I'm just noticed.
Oh, I'm sorry.
The breakdown. It's okay.
It's not that
we
much.
get it
Four
together.
creatures. Like it was 4
Get it
creatures.
together.
Yeah, I know.
Juggle the 9 jobs that you have.
I'm sorry.
mate.
There's so many things.
No Venom Throws in this list, which is the one thing, especially looking at the meta. I mean, Alexander, he looks at the meta, looks back at his lists, looks back at his meta, and he's like, man, Venom Throws would have been great. All that DACA, all that shooting would have been so good. Is this missing them a lot, or because it also doesn't have Tyrant Guard?
I can't remember if the Screamer Killers are the ones that actually have the sys built into them to actually be -1 to hit regardless. Because I know Carnifexes
Fair
can, but
enough.
they might actually have that. I can't remember if they do or not offhand.
When I first
feel
looked
like
at
they
this
can.
list, I was like, are you sure this is 2,000 points? I feel like you should
Screamer
check.
Killers are cheap. Honestly, it doesn't feel like 2,000 points. But 8
really
of them
doesn't.
is.
That's where he's hiding a couple
zone.
zoanthropes.
Yeah.
Just back there.
8 of them is almost like, what, 1,400 points, 1,500 points? It's a lot.
Now that I've said that, I'm legitimately going back to that list to make sure I didn't miss anything in the no Forsorg slot.
I don't know. It wouldn't feel like your points light when you put that many big bugs on the table.
Yeah, there are a lot of big bugs there. And I'm pretty sure
It's 450 per. They're 150 each because he's got the spore cysts.
Yeah.
And what if the spore
So
cysts?
spore cysts are the -1 to hit, so they do have that. There you go. They are -1 to hit.
He doesn't need them. He doesn't
That's why.
need
See,
the venom.
I knew it. I
He's
knew
got
it.
built in.
I had that feeling. The hive mind
Man,
was speaking to me.
450 points.
You are the
for
hive
each
mind.
unit of 3. So that's 450, 450, 300. That's 1,200 points in those 8 monsters.
Yep.
Wow. They better lift, mate. They better lift. But yeah, really interesting list. I do find it cool. And I actually looked at every single one of the Tyrannies list when I saw there were 7 in attendance, and most, if not all of them, had a minimum of 3 Carnifexes of various designs.
Really?
So Carnifexes are obviously something that works over there. Yeah, it was really
well,
surprising.
are they good? I mean, are they insulating themselves from super cracks?
That is true. Yeah, they are. You cannot desolate a marine like Carnifexes very well.
Why not?
Because they're
You
-1
only
to hit
got
your
the-
-1 weapon skill, and you
Yeah.
wound them on 5s into. Do they have 2 pluses? They have 3 pluses.
They have 2 pluses.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
Okay. All right.
yeah, you
I'm
have a
down.
1 plus.
Maybe that's the
Yeah,
play
that's it.
here. Maybe it is figure out what is
Yeah.
because Desolation Marines out there in the wild, we saw them do really well last weekend. People are going to be thinking about that kind of stuff and like what is the volume of fire that Marines can put out, and other things, and guard too. Maybe Screamer Killers are the ones that stack up.
Well, Screamer Killers would be good into the guard because of the -1 damage too, so Plasma doesn't get through them as easily.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
I need a turn or two.
So, all right.
Yeah, they flip,
I've
leaving
looked ahead.
Russes.
I have
think
looked
we
ahead
figured it
to
out.
the next to the next list that we're doing, and Paul may have been right that it was tanky, meme,
It is.
and shooty.
It is.
And it's
It is.
that I'm so predictable, Paul. This next up is Christoph Willie. Yep, he's got fast. He's playing Death Guard. The Inexorable is his whatever the hell they're called. Plague Host. He's got fast attack as his Arts of Omen. He's got a Tallyman, a Malignant Plaguecaster, 5 Plague Marines, 3x10 Poxwalkers, a Biologist Putrefier with 10 Blightlords and 3 Death Shroud, and then a Foul Blightspawn, Contempt to Dread, 3 single Spawn Pool, which you would like very much.
Yes.
3
Yes.
with Flesh Mowers, boys.
Oh, this guy's in my heart.
Why they got on.
Oh.
I know. And then 2 PBCs. I looked at this list and I was like, wow, that's the most lists that I think a Death Guard player has had in a long time. That's a lot of lists.
That is a lot
Genuinely,
of lists.
that is a lot of stuff. Yeah.
This seems
3
like over
Poxwalkers.
2,000 points.
It does. 3
Did he take
Poxwalkers,
points for the
3
tier
Single
player?
Spawn,
Okay,
3
when
Plague
you
Marines.
don't take
Yeah.
9 Death Shroud Terminators or 30 Blightlord Terminators, you can actually fit more stuff in your
But
list.
10 Blight Lords and 3
Yes.
Death Shrouds is still expensive. Like that's
It
That's
is.
nothing to
It
snuff
is,
at.
That's about
undeniably.
500 points. It's about 500 points right there.
But
That's,
it still has. So he doesn't have like. He's been like, well, I don't really love the characters. I'm just going to take the utility characters. He's just got the Tallyman. He's got the Putrefier.
there's
He's got
no-
the Blightspawn. Doesn't have any Demon Princes. Doesn't have any Mortarion. Doesn't have any Typhus. He's just
no
taken
Chaos
just
Lords.
the buffing ones.
No, for the most part. And I mean,
Yeah.
not Chaos Lords.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I do.
The big guy with the scythe.
Exactly right. And of course, you're taking the Tallyman, you take the Contempt of Dread to give them +1 to hit, get a bunch of CP back. Poxwalkers do a bunch of menial garbage. Blightlords to take every buff that you've got. So this is one thing that may have gone by the wayside, but with Marines back on the rise and no freaking Armor of Contempt, does a Flesh Mower just excite you as much as it excites me? I freaking
Man,
love it.
I've never not loved the Flesh Mower. You know how I feel about the Flesh Mower. The thing does everything. That thing makes you make different choices than you would if it's on the table and alive.
And we talked about the Desolator Marines. Well, you want to put 2 PBCs versus 5-10 Desolators. I think the PBCs eventually win that, right?
Yeah, probably. Why is everybody suddenly so on these Desolation Marines? Like I looked at them like they're yay.
Oh, my man. I tried to tell people. You know, I tried to tell people.
I'm happy we have differing perspectives. So, did you pay attention to there was? So, I'm sorry, Dustin. We didn't do the show last week. You didn't have the opportunity to learn. Manchester, in Heartland, England.
You already said that.
The top four placings of that super major was just Marines that all took a minimum of 20 Desolator Marines, and they absolutely annihilated everyone off the face of the earth. It was disgusting. They're a problem. It might be a problem for GSC, funny enough.
It's a lot of indirect fire.
Yeah.
And then you've also got a huge volume of fire. So you're going into lists that like have 50 or 60 infantry on the table, cults, and you just pick up a lot of models.
I don't know what you're talking about. My infantry aren't on the board. I don't run that list anymore.
Exactly. Yeah, you're in the boxes now.
I'm in the box.
With this particular list we're talking about, though, with the 3x1 spawn, that I do like the presence and being able to go out and interact with multiple things.
Well,
if you're playing a list, though, that has a stratagem that can buff a unit of spawn, it feels like you want to put them together, though.
Yeah, I totally agree. But I just love looking at this list and being like, look at how much junk he's got. Look at how much things he can just throw away. He's got 7 units of just junk. Like the Plague Marines, the Poxwalkers, and the Spawn. You can just throw those away. Doesn't care.
That is a great point, because being able to spread out with Death Guard is not what people are used to playing against when you're playing against Death Guard. And so maybe some of the innate abilities of that faction may even shine through even more when you've got a wider footprint and wave after wave.
Spot on. This is exactly why I pulled this list out, because I looked at all the Death Guard lists as well, because we haven't had a Death Guard list on in a while. And so I was just looking down like, wow, that's just the most list I've seen for a Death Guard player in a while. I'm chucking that on the show.
Legit.
All right, jumping down to the last one from the Firebug. This is Sven Haufen.
Nice.
HAU
That was good. That was good. That was
I,
good.
I did it, guys. We can stop the show. We're done.
Sorry,
See
we're
you
done.
later.
Can't be better than this. Mic drop. Just drop the mic.
He's playing Custodes, Emissaries, Imperatus. He's got troops as his mandatory slot. He's got Alea, which is the Sisters of Silence named character, who's actually extremely good. People do not know. Shield Captain or Dawn
And
Eagle,
like 50 points or something, which is...
I missed Trajan. I just realized I forgot to type Trajan in here. So there's
not
Trajan
50
Valoris
points.
in this list as well. Yeah, not 50 points. The opposite of that. Trajan Valoris, 5 Prosecutors, 5 units of 3 Sagittarum, a single Alaris, a Vexillus Praetor, who's also giving out Ignores cover as well as the usual goodness. 3 Venatari and 2 Caladius Grav Tanks. This is the DACA list that Paul said was coming, and he was correct. Just not in its usual guise.
Yeah.
So we had the tanky, we had the meme with the Screamer Killers, and now we've had the DACA. You bastard.
So predictable.
What do you think of this,
I
boys?
can read a player. So.
I think it's solid. I like the Sagittarium. One of Lara's Terminators, like having which one of theirs, not never a bad idea. The Prosecutors in Alea seem to be a new, not an odd one clue, but I see like most Custodials taking that now. The Caladius, I don't know if they do what the Custodians need them to do.
What they used to do?
Yeah, what they used to do. That's I feel like they kind of fell off after their last nerf. And I've seen them still be brought, and I played against a couple times. They seem lackluster. I don't know. I feel like they have better options for shooting. The Dreads, I think, are just better.
Maybe that's the back. You know, they have a little bit longer range than the rest of the army, so maybe the idea.
And
is
they
to
are
have
cheaper
them there
too.
so
They are cheaper.
They can just hang out. And KR pointed out correctly that Leia is 80 points, not. I mean, cheaper comparatively to the other Custodes. I feel like it's a good slot for. HQ if you're looking to harvest points for other sections.
Mm-hmm.
But thank you for pointing that out.
So if people don't know what Emissaries does, it gives you fight first, army wide. So
yeah, I don't. I was actually going to ask. I'm like, I don't recognize that faction.
But the better part and the one you want to focus on is they ignore all hit modifiers. So these guys just hit on 2s. Whole army just hits on freaking 2s. Can't stop them. Nothing you can do about it. Just going to hit on 2s. Forests don't care. Pop Smoke don't care. Just going to hit on 2s. So it's just the whole army's hitting on 2s, rolling 1s to hit and wound from Trajan if it's applicable. And so you just get a very consistent list. And also the Vexillus can be upgraded with a relic to give Ignores light cover as well. So and wound modifiers.
Yeah,
so
and
you can't
wound
minus
modifiers.
damage. Yeah. Also, you can't ignore damage. You can't ignore, but they can't minus 1 to wound.
Yeah, they can't minus 1 to wound.
That's
Like
correct,
the Shadow Series and stuff.
Exactly
Forest
right.
or so like that. Yeah. That cover trait is so difficult to deal with if it's on the table. So if you're going to be playing in a area like to throw some of those on the table, plan for it because you will be thrown for a loop. You can have a game flipped on you just because a couple of pieces of terrain are on the table.
And boys, people just really disrespect Sagittarium in combat, but man, they just you get up close and then they just pull out their little shiv and they're like, it's stabbing time, boys. Let's go. And they just come in with 3 attacks each, hitting on 2s, rerolling 1s and all that crap. And it really piles up. Like they're actually legitimately not too bad. I wish there was one more
and they look so good.
They look so good. I wish there was a chunky melee unit in this as well, but you just can't do it. It's just the points are too lame. But anyway, those are the 3 lists that I found.
They got Valoris in there. He's a chunky.
They do.
He's a chunky melee unit.
He's a baller. But that's the 3 lists I pulled out. Now, obviously, 4 attacks each because you get +1, of course, for the shank, the shiv, the Emperor's shiv, as I like to call it, the Misericordia. What do you think's winning this? Obviously, it's your pick from which DACA faction is going to take this one out.
Seriously,
it's a bit ridiculous.
I've seen and I've played because I've been practicing a bunch of different Astra Militarum lists, and I just don't see how they lose some games because they are. If you build right. And you because they're very complicated. Like if you build the list right,
15 of them,
and there's 15 of them.
Yeah,
I cannot see them not winning this. I mean, it could happen.
Yeah, I can't.
They are so good.
It's wild.
It's gonna be tough to go against that.
I'm just gonna go Assyriani. I think Assyriani's due,
Whoa.
and I want them to win. I want them to win one. The stats are saying that they're an S tier army, but they haven't really won a thing yet. So I'm just gonna be like, you know what? A full DACA. If everyone is only DACA, if everyone is just shooting each other conventionally, they have the most jank, the most ability to shoot and not be shot back.
Somebody needs to update the tier, folks, because Halo Doom's not what it used to be.
And you know what's
Well,
great against killing a Sirianni? A friggin' mortar, like 9 mortars with the banner.
Yeah, it's the mortars.
It doesn't matter what you bring. That thing is so
dumb.
bad.
It is true.
My goodness, I went and broke out a couple of packs of 50mm bases to update my mortar squad. That's all I'm saying.
Yes, just saying, you know.
Which is an interesting thing.
Homes.
Yeah.
Anyway,
so
we got.
I got to pick a winner here. Demons.
Okay.
Nice.
I mean,
that's not bad. If honestly, if I there was somebody, if I knew there was a top player in attendance who was taking monos inch demons to this event, I'd be like that guy. He has picked the meta perfectly.
I may have been lagging out when I was mentioning it, whatever, but players have been focusing more on how to maximize that warp locus ability. So there's been a lot of talk about of demon players and chaos players about what things have the warp locus ability.
Yeah.
And I think that we're only a couple of events, maybe a few weeks away from people figuring out what that right combination is to get off a bunch of 7-inch charges.
Yeah, okay. I'm looking forward to seeing that too. It's just another one of those things that the guard has an answer for. It's like, oh, orders, you can't deep strike within 12. Like, yeah. Just answer for everything. It's ridiculous. That's why you still I actually really like the Slanesh list that John brought. Was it
last week? Yeah.
Yeah, like it was actually. It was a great list for this, and I feel like that's a better way to go. Like I've personally, as a GSC player, even when I was using the melee stuff, I rarely deep struck stuff. One, because I will always fail an 8-inch, 9-inch charge. Doesn't matter how far. I hate relying on it. I don't like that. I prefer just being on the board. You can't zone me out. You can't auspex me or any of that stuff. I'm running up there, and I'll just charge you. Like I'll do old school charging. That's fine. I feel more confident doing that.
Nothing wrong with that. I'm a believer.
Yeah, exactly. You should be. You have jetpacks. Like you really should be.
The next event we're going to be talking about is the Down Under 40K Major in Meadowy, New South Wales, Australia. 107 players, 6-round event.
Quick and dirty stats for this one.
Big numbers.
That's a lot of numbers. We have 1 Sisters of Battle, 8 Custodes, 2 Admech, 6 Astromerlist Harem, 1 Grey Knight, and 2 Imperial Knights. Space Marines are 7 Dark Angels, 5 Space Wolves, 2 Ultramarines, 2 Salamanders. Ooh, Salamanders. 2 Imperial Fists. What the 4 Iron Hands.
I know.
Chaos, there's 6 Chaos Space Marines, 4 T-Suns, 1 single Death Guard, 6 World Leaders, and 9 Demons, and then 4 Renegade Knights. For Xenos, there's 1 Necron, 8 Orcs, 7 Tau, and 3 Votan. Hivemind, there's 5 Tyranids, 1 G-Star Cult. What happened? The G-Star Cult were alive for like 2 weeks, and then Tyranids just took over again.
No idea.
What are you guys doing?
No idea.
What are you doing?
Don't worry. Last event's redemption. Don't
worry. I know.
Carnifexes. I mean, I'm telling you, that's the trick.
Maybe it is. Eldar, there's 1 Drukhari, 2 Harlequins, 4 Sirani, and 1 Inarmine. The faction podium is Demons topping it off with 9. Orcs and Custodes the second with 8. And then Dark Angels and Tau in third with 7. What the heck is this podium?
It's just hard to get Lehman Rusted down there, I guess.
This is a beautiful world, is what this is. This is a land that knows what it's about, knows how to have respectful, gentlemanly games of 40k. They don't require just having more gun than the other guy. This is the true epitome of the game right here.
With no bias.
No bias at all. No bias at all. No,
Zero.
Not. Why would he have bias? That's ridiculous.
Look how beautiful that spread is, boys. We got.
Hey, I'm not arguing that. The spread is very nice.
Nothing is a 10% of representation. Like it's fantastic. I mean, demons. They're like. I honestly think Australia has the best demon players in the world. Best GSC players in the world. Bang bang. But enough memeing.
You do have one.
Look at him.
You have one.
Look at him. Yeah, and he's the best. Sorry. But we have some like Australia is known and renowned for our faction specialists, and pretty much they're all in attendance. Like the 1 Sisters of Battle is our WTC Sisters of Battle player. One of the Cult Mechanics guys is arguably one of the best Cult Mechanics guys in the world. Like I said, that one GSC guy is arguably the best GSC player, if not one of the best players in the world. Same can be said for so many of these like small representation factions. I love Australia. I think there's going to be some I think this event's going to be streamed if you're in time zones where it's respectable. I can't remember what it's going to be on. I think it's the Australis 40K network or something like that on Twitch. So check it out if you want to
Definitely
tune
check
some
that one out.
top level.
I will say
games.
what you were talking about faction specialist, and then also just being able, and I'll echo that, but as following the meta for as long as I have, players that can think outside the box and do well consistently happens a lot in that region. So it is a region to watch, 100%.
For sure.
Because we are price checked and gate kept out of chasing the meta a lot of the times, and because teams is such a big deal to us, we find that we have a lot more diversity down under. Like I said, we play the game in the best of spirits at the best of levels, I do believe. And yeah, let's break down some top players in attendance. First up, we have Matt Morrisoli. You may know him from his amazing run at the LVO this year. He's also WTC World Champion. He's playing Chaos Demons Undivided. I think this is pretty much where he'll be staying for the foreseeable future. He's got Elites as his mandatory slots. He's got the Super Bloodthirster, Scarbrand, a Fate Skimmer, and a Transweaver. Warblocus. 3x10 Demonettes with 10 Pink Horrors. 3 Minunits of Fiends. 3 Flamers, 2 units of 5 Fleshhounds, and 5 Seekers. He is diversifying quite a bit of what we've seen from some other players recently. Only 3 Flamers. I'd really love to, I could probably just type now and say, mate, why is the 1 unit of Flamers? Why the small unit of Fiends? But he's definitely wanting to have more units rather than bigger units. This is an obvious choice here. Especially, do you guys like Seekers? Because I freaking love Seekers. I think Seekers and Fiends are incredible.
Yeah, very fast and a lot of attacks.
Fiends are incredible. Seekers I haven't been sold on, but I'm coming around to them.
Yeah, I'm coming around to Seekers as well. They're just Demonettes with some extra nothing saves that just move so much faster. They just really impressive. I can tell you right now, before I left Australia, Matt was talking a lot about guard, a lot about infiltrators, and needing to build things into his army that he can throw away that will pick up these stupid little annoying units that will stop Scarbrand, the Thirster, the big things coming in reserve. And this is what these small units are. Flamers, they can go on the table, move, advance, shoot, pick up a squad of guardsmen. 3 Fiends. You don't want to use 4 Fiends or 5 Fiends to go and kill, a couple of infiltrators. No, you use 3 Fiends, so you don't lose freaking 6 of them to the Lehman Russes at the back of the table. So these are why he has these size units, and he has so many of them that he's just going to get through, and his big boys are going to connect. I like it a lot, and he's going to be extremely good with it.
Yeah, no, Matt is an incredible player. I saw his games at LVO, and he knows what he's doing with this. I'm excited to actually see this. If it's being streamed, I'm definitely going to be watching that on the replay.
Yeah,
since I'll be out of my own tournament.
It's going to be a good one
for sure.
All right, next up we have Chris Wright, also one of the best players in Australia. He's playing Space Wolf Successors, Whirlwinds of Rage, and Born Heroes. Also a member of the WTC team from last year.
Space Wolves just seem to get away with doing that all the time. Yeah, we're Born Heroes. Well, of course you are, Space Wolves. That's and no one questions, you didn't paint them a certain way or whatever. Nope, that's just what Space Wolves are.
Yeah, you see what I've written behind the scouts there? Pretty much apply that to every unit in this army.
Well, yeah, just because they're free.
So this is the min-maxed. I am playing with 3,000 points in a 2,000 point game list. He has fast attack as his fast elites apparently, according to me. So he's got fast attack as his mandatory slot. No, it is elites. My bad, because he has 5 scouts and the Wolf Guard and the Judicia and the aggressors. So he's a captain on bike. Promise Chaplain on bike, 2x5 infiltrators, a unit of 5 and a unit of 4 aggressors, a Judicia, 3x5 Wolf Scouts with maximum bullshit, so you just got everything, 5 Wolf Guard with everything, 3x5 Skyclaws with everything, and by the Skyclaws I mean that they have 3 Melter Guns and then a guy with a Thunderhammer Storm Shield, and then 3x5 Longfangers with everything, and then 2 Landspeeder Storms. This is remember when I talked about the previous list, the Death Guard, how it just had so much list in the list? This is literally the 11 out of 10 version of that theory.
Yep.
This list has so much list. It is disgusting.
Yeah, Space Marines in general, the Space Wolves are one of the, I think, better, if not best, that can take advantage of all the free equipment with Longfang, Skyclaws, Wolfguard, Scouts. They can add so much stuff to their squads. Every single one of those is just they'll clear. They can trade up into almost anything.
Exactly right. And because of Whirlwinds of Rage and Born Heroes and the fact that they all packed relevant guns, they're all just good in combat and good at shooting.
Exactly.
And he has 19 units in this army, and apart from the infiltrators, everything else in the army shoots or fights very well. You could argue the infiltrators do into some matchups as well.
So
like
many
Born
Thunder
Heroes,
Hammers.
Whirlwinds of Rage. Oh, dude, it's disgusting. So this just got so much stuff. I mean, it does die. Legitimately, it does die. He can just spike like storm shields. That is just a thing that happens. If you are a low rend army, like what orcs doing to this is just like so sad. They're charging with their little rend 1, and then everything just bounces off a storm shield, then they just die to like massed nothing attacks because he's exploding 6s and crap. It's pretty revolting. This is a list that I think gives am I breaking up or something? But this is a list that I think gives Morrisoli nightmares. That demons list, this list gives it nightmares. I do believe.
It has more trading units that can trade 1 unit for 2 when they have more. That hurts.
And he's still got long range. He's still got the 3x5 long fangs that can just sit at range. He can just play that game too. The aggressors is the new tech because he took a very similar archetype to Uprising this year and did very well. But he didn't have the aggressors. The aggressors are an interesting choice because they're just I believe they're the concession for stuff like GSC and stuff like demons. You just need the massed like bolt of fire to just slap down enough shots, enough DACA.
Apparently, you don't need to worry too much about GSC here. Oh, I see a lot more aggressors kind of showing up. And when people are taking aggressors, they're literally messaging me and saying they're taking aggressors because of GSC. Like, I'm taking it because of you.
Well,
like,
very interesting.
Here's the thing, the one GSC player in attendance, you have to be able to beat that guy if you think you're going to win this event.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
So that's it. So
and I already know what he's playing, too. His list is even here. I know what he's playing.
He's got the 6 trucks. Yeah, it's the same thing
doing,
last time.
But it's Rustic Claw now. It's Rustic Claw now.
It's Rustic Claw. But that's the only reason I didn't chuck it on. I didn't chuck it on because it's like I think we did pretty much playing the same list, just kind of updated. He changed about 150 points out of it.
He changed the cult. Come on, give him some credit.
See, we just mentioned it. We just wrapped up.
There you go.
It was totally good.
Just take
Sorry, Paul. I cut you.
Listen to the last show. Oh no, and then put that cult on there. We're all right. So, what's the next list?
All right, last one is Alexander Iglesias, who is playing Mars Adeptus Mechanicus. Now, it's been a while since we had an AdMech list on. Has it been like only 3 weeks? But anyway, been a while.
It's been a couple of weeks. It's only been 2 weeks, yeah.
He's got fast attack.
It's been a long time since we had talked about them, so the fact that they are entering the meta again is actually worth noting exciting. Because that is the living, breathing ecosystem that we've always described. It is working.
Exactly right. So he's got fast attack as his mandatories. He's got martial, dominus, techno archaeologist, 5 infiltrators, 2x10 rust stalkers, 2x2 ballistari, 2x4 dragoons. Boys, the dragoons starting to catch on. 5 Cerberus Raiders and 2 Dune Riders. And then he has 2 Mysterious Guardian Helverins who can start in reserve and come on turn 1, if I remember what Mysterious Guardians does.
Yeah, I think that's the tech that a lot of the Imperial are just taking. Just 2 Helverins with the Mysterious Guardians for pop and transports, or just getting some long-range shooting in some cases.
It's essentially redeploy. Like when you look at the what Mysterious Guardians does for you, it's essentially just like redeploy. I get to just redeploy them after I've seen exactly everything.
Yeah, it's
really got a question in chat. Really is this an AdMech combat list? It certainly looks like it.
Oh yeah, it definitely is.
Mate. It is
with a little bit of shooting support, but it's mostly combat.
It's got quality and quantity as well. Yep. So it's still got the Ballistari and the Helverins for the long range stuff, and it's legitimately enough. That's like 6 long range anti-tank good platforms. That's totally fine, plenty. And then he's got 2 Rust Stalkers that have the good rend and the mortal wounds for getting through things that requires, and then he has the massed high strength, double exploding 6s crap from the Dragoons. I think this is a great list. I think it's really cool.
This is actually a really good list. I like this a lot. In fact, it beats a lot of the meta right now. Like if it's in the hands of a good player, which it obviously is. So
it is. Yeah.
I don't know.
A lot of this army is actually on giant bases too. So not only has he got a lot of units, there are like huge bases to wall off objectives, to crowd people out of things, to control threat ranges and stuff. There's a lot of I think, science in this list that's beyond just the models in the.
And have you keyed in onto the cheekiness of the Rust Stalkers? Like the fact that they have boxes to ride in, the 2 Dune Riders for the Rust Stalkers?
Yeah, and they're
So
big
they can't
squads.
get watered. They can't get desolated.
Yeah.
That's it.
This
That's the
is,
secret tech, and I'm here
this
for
is
it. I
tech.
think it's clever.
I like this. I like this a lot.
Yeah.
But the
Yep,
super
I like it a
cracks
lot. I
just
think
take
it's a
out the
great
Neos
list.
Striders. Sorry.
Yeah, if they can see him. But like you said, he's actually got a lot of big bases, so getting angles
Yeah.
on his army should be doable. All right.
I
So,
dig it.
lads, that is the list. That are the players in the top. Some of the top players in attendance. There's a lot of.
This
top
is going to be
players in attendance.
tough. Look
Most
at the spread, though. The fact that there's almost most factions are represented here, and there is nobody that's more than 10%. So we have no easy picks here. So Dustin, what do you think is taking this?
We have no easy picks. Well, when my man Lothaurus is bringing GSC to an event, there's no way I'm not picking GSC.
All right, the one GC cult going to fight through all the pack. Adam, what do you think?
I'm going to pick the Space Wolves list we just went through because also the thing I'll say about that Space Wolves list is that I think it's almost future proofed. Because like the predictions of the balanced data slate is like, if I was going to fix what's wrong with Space Marines, it would be nerfing the Deathwing Terminators and fixing Codex Warfare, and none of that touches Chris's list at all. It's completely future proof as far as I can tell, because Codex Warfare is not really on the cards very often. You got plenty of other stuff to do. So I'm picking the Space Wolves.
Yep,
I'm going Astra Militarum. I believe that even if it was difficult to get figures down there, so there's a lot of what people have had for a long time that's still very strong, and that's my pick.
For me, honestly, if Eric wasn't there with GSC, I actually would have taken this AdMech list. I really like this AdMech list.
I like it. I like it as well. Yeah, I like it a lot as well.
I think a lot of people will have forgotten what the rules were.
Yeah,
that's what they would.
Yeah.
I really love the 3 lists that we showed off and how they all play into each other completely differently. Like it's really cool. Those just seeing those guys going around. Anyway,
this is when we would normally have a word from our sponsor. This is Frontline Gaming Network. You've been an amazing host to us. Go check out the websites. Definitely figure out, get some stuff from. Subscribe to all the other shows that are on the network. Make sure you subscribe to the newsletter if you haven't already. Again, thank you so much, FLGN. For all that you've done for us.
Greatly appreciated. Been great being here.
We have one more event to talk about, and then we have our just wind down segment. If this is your first time listening or watching us, you don't want to miss it. Or maybe after you've heard it, you might.
Depending on which one you heard.
Because it has very, very little to do with Warhammer sometimes. But we do have one more event, which is a team event, an event that we love. We're going to jump into that. This is going to be the Can Hammer team event. This is one of the signature team events in the world. I'll say that some of the best players in the world participate in the Can Hammer event. It's always one to watch. It's one of those indicators, I think, of what the meta is looking like, as if the ones we weren't talking about weren't as well. But this is one of the ones where a lot of players come to and bring lots of different lists. And it's always something to watch.
It is definitely it's a primer for Team Canada too. Like they'll bring the team in 2 separate teams because it's only 5 mans, but they'll split them up and they're trying to iron out a lot of the final kinks before WTC comes up. So it is a very, very high level tournament and so much fun.
160 players, 32 teams of 5 over the course of 6 rounds coming up over the weekend.
That's right. 32 teams, meaning, again, because it's a team event, for those of you that aren't familiar, you cannot duplicate any codexes. So any of these codexes, well, I know what? The last couple of times, we still haven't really broke 50% of representation of the teams. But they can't.
It's been a while.
It's been a while. There won't be any more than 32, but I have a feeling there won't be any more than 16. So we're gonna see. We're gonna see. So the Imperial.
So if there's 117 here,
there's 117. I'm wrong. I have not looked, obviously, because if there's a 17, I haven't looked.
I haven't looked either. It's always a surprise.
I'm going to quickly go in and change a number. Be right back.
No, don't do it.
Yeah,
don't cheat. You can't cheat. Imperial Superfaction. There are 7 Sisters of Battle, 8 Custodes, 5 AdMac, 16 Astra Militarum. That was close. That was close.
I was going to call Scary. Tomorrow you're playing Astra Militarum.
5 Grey Knights, 11 Imperial Knights. Holy crap. Space Marines, there's 9 Dark Angels, 1 Space Wolf, 3 Blood Angels, 2 Ultramarines, 2 Black Templar, and 3 Iron Hands. Chaos, there's 7 Chaos Space Marines, 1 T-Sun, 2 Death Guard, 9 World Eaters, and 11 Demons, and then 8 Renegade Knights. There's a lot of Knights here. Xenos, there's 7 Necrons, 4 Orcs, 11 Tau, 7 Votan, 0 Tyranids, and 11 Gene Stealer Cult. Welcome to my neck of the woods, boys.
You gotta watch where you sit up there in the in Canadian land. That's
wow. Just it's ridiculous.
People ask me, so why are you building a Gene Stealer Cult list to beat Gene Stealer Cult? Well,
it's gonna happen. You should see. Hang around, we'll find out.
Exactly. Eldar, there's 1 Drukhari, 3 Harlequins, 6 Assyriani, and 1 Yanari, meaning the faction podium is Astra Militarum, topping it off with 16. Yes, nothing hit 17. And then second is GSC, Tau, Demons, and Imperial Knights tied at 11.
Wild.
And then World Eaters and Dark Angels in third with 9. Wow.
Literally, if Guard was at a reasonable number, this would be like chef's kiss spread.
Mm-hmm.
But Guard's just like blow them all out of the water. So legitimately, 50% of the teams took Guard.
Yeah.
And the other 50% didn't have enough Russes or Dawns, essentially.
Yeah, for sure. 100%. Because Guard is like they're an auto include. If you want to like play hyper competitive, and if you have a player that can do it and you have the models, they are an auto include for sure.
Yep.
Like no, not even a question.
In any teams event, I absolutely agree.
Any team that have 3
you
or
also
more.
play Borrowhammer. Like typically like the paint scoring is like I mean of course you have to bring paint in, but like the quality of that paint and the matchiness of that paint is sometimes a little subjective, and so you see a lot of Borrowhammer at team events.
I am lending out approximately 9,000 points of stuff this weekend myself, so definitely a lot.
Hey, those 11 Gene Stealer cults aren't going to fuel themselves.
That's true, they won't.
Brilliant. But this one is legitimately a fantastic spread. Of course, GSC is absolutely wild having that level of numbers. World Eaters, Dark Angels, no surprises there. Imperial Knights and Renegade Knights having almost 20 players, having 19 players of Knight players in attendance. That's wild. That's like, I mean, I don't know how many of those have got double ups, but if they're all single, it's just so many Knights. It's crazy. Obviously, there are 20 Space Marine players in attendance total, so we do always need to point out that is technically the most represented faction. Why the hell did my camera just focus on me perfectly? I'm crisp now.
Yeah, it's perfect. It just worked now.
That's so frustrating.
58 minutes into the show, you know.
Yeah, you piece of crap. No,
don't talk bad about it. Technology will listen to you.
Why are the Knights there so much, mate? What are the tables going to be like, Dustin?
Light table. One of these tables is light. That's what you hope for.
Yep.
You actually, when you are playing in a Knights in a team event, you absolutely want to get a favorable. You want to put them out early so you can pick your table. Like, you know what? I know I'm going to take one for the team. You're playing all these big boys on the light table.
Yep.
Apart from this, most of it is just the usual suspects. The 0 Tyranids is hilarious compared to the unknown why we've had a little bit of a Tyranid resurgence this week. They're just like none of them. They all left. Like geese flying south for the winter. They abandoned the Great White North.
They I can tell you a lot of them just flipped over to GSC.
Yeah, exactly right. But the tendrils, they shifted away.
Yeah,
the Hive Fleet. What are we going to? So we have 2 teams, as is our want, as is how we do. Teams usually take a little bit to unpack. This first one I'm going to do. Then the second one is Dustin's team, and he's going to do it for you. So I'm just giving him the heads up because the first he knows about this. First up is Blunt Force Trauma. As far as I can tell, this is 5 of the WTC players for Team Canada. So this is going to be a very serious team. First up is Solar Watch Custodes, and essentially the archetype is 18 Wardens and 9 Venatari. The rest is what you would expect, Trajan and co. Then we have Born Soldiers Astra Militarum, 30 Kaskin, 4 Russes, 3 Mortar Teams, and some Scions to do stuff. It's fairly standard. It's one more squad of Kaskin than I think is necessary, but in teams when you want to be oppressive and crazy, 30 can just push the envelope. A very standard World Eaters build is a Lord Avo build, which means it's just crazy amounts of MSU with 1 character. Also 2 characters. He's got the Juggerlord as well. And then we have a Dark Angels list that can be summed up by the 2 words that you see. One of which is a number. There is 47 Terminators, and that's the list.
I love that. I do love it.
I ain't gonna play around. Then we have a light-sated Harlequins list. Now, this is a return to form for Harlequins we have not seen in some time. It has been since pre Arcs of Omen. I guess they're in the LVO meta. This is the Harlequin list. We haven't seen it for about 2 months, 2.5 months, almost 3 months. But this is 8 troop in boats and all the good characters. So Super Death Jester, the Shadow Seers, the Troop Masters, and then just 8 troop in boats. Yeah, that's the 5-pack. What do we make of it?
This is the favorite to win the event. Like that, there's no.
You want to make no friends? You bring this 5-pack.
Dude, dead set. This is the I don't care about friends. We need to get the W's here.
Like
this is savage.
It is 4 of the current WTC Team Canada members and 1 former. So like it's all WTC, including the captain, including the Harlequin player is Tim from like he made the Shadow round at LVO with Harlequins this past year. So like they're no joke. They're the team to beat.
Let's talk about this though. Is the fact that we know that these are stout lists, and these are lists that are arguably could be good singles lists too. I mean, I think one or two of them maybe a little bit past their prime, but in the right matchup, which is what's the key here, is that in a team event, how this works is that you put out a list saying this is our put out. The other captain gets to put out 2 lists for you to choose from which one you want to fight with the list that you've set out as basically your defenders type things.
Mm-hmm.
And so this list is still slightly dependent upon the matchups.
Yep.
And if there are hard counters out there, which I can't think of necessarily a hard counter for every single list that's in this pack right now. I think there's some great take all comers, but there could be the other captain could create some very lopsided matchups.
Yeah, definitely.
Absolutely. How do you envision this being wielded, Dustin? Who's your put-ups? Who's your champs or whatnot?
Well, it always depends on the matchup that you're into, right? Because at least the way I do pairings is it's very fluid depending on who you're up against. Because you want to try to get the person with the least bad matchups in first to take away a bad matchup for the rest of the people. And in this case, it's generally Dark Angels. They'll eat matchups. Like, they have a couple bad ones. Or you just put one of the ones will just score points. Like Harlequins, they will score points. Because that's a single
World Leaders.
Yeah. World Leaders. Same kind of thing. And all of these lists can do, like you said, they are singles lists in a lot of cases. Or at least, Paul said, some are past their prime. But if they can avoid, like, 1 or 2 of their bad matchups, you put them down so they avoid that bad matchup and think, all right, cool. Now it doesn't matter what I get into. I get my points now.
Yep, spot on, mate. Yeah, this is an incredible 5-pack. I think it is really well tailored. So the Custodians list works in singles, absolutely, but I've always thought the Custodians was going to end up being a teams list, and I would not be surprised if it starts falling off in singles eventually in Arcs of Omen, because I do think it has some predators out there. But yeah, absolutely, I love it.
Funny enough, he actually
playing around.
He brought that list with 30 wardens to a major, and it didn't do well, so he changed it to the Atarian, which makes more sense now. I think it's
I freaking adore how it works with the termies and the pairings. Mm-hmm. Just being like, oh, you're good into termies, but are you good into termies when you have no rerolls? Like, so I love that about it, because a lot of people can build like a Predator list, a Hail of Doom Predator list, or a Iron Hands Predator list, anything like that, and then you're just like, all the things you built, you predicated that on, don't work against Custodians. Here you go. Let's send that. All right, jumping down to the other of the teams in attendance, and Dustin, you can just take this away, mate.
Oh, can I? Cool. Well, for the Stutter Scrub team, it's a local team around here. I've heard of them. They have Harlequins with the light sight at the 8 troops in boats. All the good characters. Same.
Where'd they get that idea?
No idea. We just copied it from the other guys. That's all we did. We have another World Leaders list too, which is almost the same. Like, it's MSU everything, but it has the 2 Warlock Executioners, and it is the only World Leaders list that has it at this event, which is interesting because it's a team event, so you don't have to have them. But I don't know. I like what they add to the list, to be honest.
Chaos list, all the Chaos Legions. Well, I guess outside of just the Slanesh, which has their own kind of shooting, you see them make their way into a lot of those lists because it provides some excellent long range firepower.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly right. And he allows this list to play into Harlequins, Drakari, GSC that are full of trucks. Anything that's transport heavy, usually World Leaders just get stopped in their tracks by transports. This allows them to have that play.
Exactly. Then there's a GSC Industrial Affinity War Convoy Deep Supplies.
Who would have played that crap?
Who would do that?
Jeez.
Who would do that? 25 Aqualids, 80 Neos, 3 Trucks, 3 Grinders.
I think you just like explaining your rules to your opponent.
I really do.
This is
And this,
Have you ever played GSC before? No. Put the clock on me. There you go. And then there is one of our spicy ones, the Necron's Nihilak, which is 2 Monoliths, 2 Obelisks, a Tesseract Vault, and the Silent King.
That's a stat
Yep.
check army, if I've ever seen one.
That's a choice.
That's a choice. And then we have a Drukhari, Obsidian Rose, 5x6 Cabs, Big Court, 3 Incubi, Killing Characters, 3 Raiders, 3 Venoms. It's Harlequin style Drukhari. We have, like, spoiler alert, Skari is on our team. So
surprisingly shooty. I've played against this list at Mini Wargaming, and it's got the extra range and the reroll to wound on all the blasters. So he's got 6 blasters in all those.
Is it extra
cab
6-inch
units.
range?
I can't remember if it was 4 or 6. It might be 6.
I think it's 6. Yeah, because I remember 36 goes to 42. So yeah, it's 6.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a lot. When
it's,
you basically like half again the range of a weapon, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
I'm a fan. I think it's a cool little wrinkle on that list. So it plays like Harlequins, but it's much happier staying at range. The list actually shoots. Like Harlequins have the gun to kill like the infantry, and then you have the version of Harlequins that has the gun to kill the anti-tank stuff.
Yep. And he's actually got a lot of there's a lot of leadership shenanigans in there. He's got a lot of mortal wound output. This list actually beats the Harlequin list standard.
Yeah. So Dustin,
yes.
You said something before about what was it? It was a hot take, definitely. I was going to
bring this up if you said
guard were mandatory, and then you didn't take him.
Nope.
What the hell, man?
Well, I can tell you we have 3 faction specialists, so they're not going to move over. We have 1 meta chaser who spends a lot of money on meta chasing, but not Imperial Guard amount of money on meta chasing.
That's world leaders amount of meta chasing.
The world leaders amount of meta chasing, yeah, exactly. And then
called him. Hey, buddy, how you doing?
Hey, there's nothing wrong with being a meta chaser.
No, there's not.
No. Actually, it's quite the opposite, in fact.
Yeah, exactly. But you knew exactly who it was. And just the Harlequin player is usually our flex army, like usually our flex player, and he's just been doing so well with Harlequins. And in terms of what we needed from the team and our dynamic, we needed one that was more of a blocker than a bully, and we didn't have the models to get him for guard. So it's like, yeah, screw it. Everybody's taking guard. Let's not take guard. Let's not do it.
So tell me about the Necron list.
How would one pair into this Necron list? Not that anyone up there is listening.
No, of course not. No, nobody's ever listening. This list is actually there's 2 things with this list. One, we switched it on people because I know they were watching our games and our practice games. We went to a couple of practice team events and they were looking at our list, and it was like a warrior spam survivable list, which was great. But in a killy meta like this, it's not what we wanted for the team, and we needed some help with some of the matchups that we're lacking multiple people to beat with. And this list has actually made a huge difference in our color pairings, because if you look at that, like, it's stat check list for sure, but the amount of damage it can do to like horde armies, which
let's explain your color pairing. So you subscribe to the theory that you like red, green, or yellow, whether or not what list you want to pair into.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of like a heat map of what is viable for your team list. And so what you're doing, and to anyone that's wanting to go to a team event like this or are looking to improve their standings in a team event like this, you are doing a lot of pre-thinking about what you would even think to put out or to slide against someone in the pairings process.
Yeah, exactly. And that's why, because when I say I start the conversation off, we have 3 faction specialists. Like, they are on these armies, these factions, because they are good enough with them, they're practicing with them, that they'll pull points in anything. And in some cases, if their army's like really good at the time, like with GSC's really good, and then we rely on that to get a lot of big scores on that, it only leaves us 2 armies that we have flexibility with. So we got to figure out what those 3 are good into, what their weaknesses are, and then we fill those gaps with the other 2, which the World Eaters did in spades. That was easy.
Excellent.
So the only thing I don't like about the archetype is I just really don't respect obelisks. Just
you should.
They stink.
They're actually pretty good.
Yeah.
I mean,
Nah.
well, they're good when you can dodge certain things.
Yeah.
Nah. No, they're fine. They're fine.
What don't you like about them?
They don't do enough. I wish they just had a freaking rend. Just give their guns a rend. That's all they do. They are a brick with some guns around it.
They
And the
have
guns don't
like
have any
powers.
No, that's the Tesseract vault.
That's the Tesseract vault.
The
Oh,
obelisk
there,
is
yeah.
the-
Okay,
is
I'm
the
back
flawed
on.
one.
Yeah, I'm sorry. They're terrible.
It's-
Yeah, what's going on?
It's a brick. It's a brick with guns on it, and the guns don't have any rend. So I'm like, ugh. So it's fine for teams. It's absolutely fine for teams. When you compare it into things like Orcs, GSC, like even Guard, they'll just put enough wounds on vehicles to do some damage and contribute.
Well, the
But-
monoliths shred
Damn.
the vehicles.
Because did you take all the death rays on the monoliths?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, good stuff. That's good. Aight.
All right.
Who's
So now,
now this? I just need to ask Dustin to call this shot. Are you gonna win this?
We're gonna try.
no. Okay. So we've
No,
already
okay,
established that it's a well-known podcaster has already mentioned that you have to have a guard list on your list if you're going to be
True.
in contention. So
That's true.
He's already vetoed himself.
Yeah.
So with that in mind, what we don't do, we have not. There's too much complexity in a team event. Although I want Dustin to call a shot, and of course we wish you
Same.
well,
Same.
and we do hope you take it down. Like you're
We
going
do.
to be amazing.
We're doing
And
this.
all jokes aside, you guys.
This is my last event. This would be the greatest mic drop I could do before going on 40K leave for a few months to win Can Hammer.
Dadcation.
So-
Dadcation.
Because we couldn't do all the teams justice and go down the list, it would, it's one of those things. What we try to do is also is phrase it in a way: which faction is coming away with the most battle points? Which one is going to be the singular highest scoring faction in this roster here?
I always say this when team with actually I've said it the last think 2 or 3 team events. I've said World Eaters since they've come out because I think with just a little bit of pairings help, they just get so close to 100 points. I'm going to switch that. How many Orc players we got? We got 4 Orc players. Let's do it. Orc player, this one.
You took my guess.
Sorry, mate. Sorry.
No.
Apologies.
It's all right.
So
Dustin, what do you think?
You're both going for orcs then, eh?
No, I gotta change it up because
Okay.
I want to be
We'll
right.
change it up.
I want to be the sole winner of this
the
guess.
only winner.
Yeah.
It's a prediction.
Can't have two.
It's not a guess.
Can't share.
It's
If you
a prediction.
If you cut a W in half, it's just a U now.
That's a V, isn't it?
It
Depending
technically
on how
is
you
a
make
V.
them.
Yeah, it's not even a U.
I guess how bubbly do you make your W's, Adam? That's
You're right. It is just a V, but at least a V stands for victory. That's something.
There you go.
I mean, I have to there's so many GSC there. Like the GSC score well.
That's true.
I can't go against them. I'm playing them. If I'm not saying that my army's going to score a lot, what the hell am I doing?
I'm gonna go Tau then because I can imagine that the Tau player is gonna be looking at their team like, "What are you doing over there, people? What's going on?" It's over there racking up hundreds.
It's true. There are a lot of Tau there.
Game's
too.
gonna be done in 15 minutes. Be like, "Come on, team."
Honestly, there's actually a couple really good Votan players there too, so that wouldn't be a bad.
Oh, that's
thing
cool.
either.
If only they had secondaries that could
Yeah.
score 100 points.
Just got to table them in 2 turns, and then they don't have to worry about
That's it. That's it.
Differential,
Let's do it.
right? So
That's it. Okay. Is it Fuego
It's
time?
Fuego
It is.
time.
So this is the time of the show where this is the palate cleanser. You made it through. You've made it. You made it to the end of the episode, and we certainly appreciate you joining us here. We now have a segment we call the Fuego Rapido. This is a segment where we give ourselves, production has come up with our friends of the show have come up with 5 or 6 questions or so. We give ourselves 2 minutes to talk about the topic, and once that 2 minutes is up, we abandon it, never to return to it again.
I ain't remembered a single Fuego topic ever.
no,
Poor
there's a
answer.
couple. I remembered a couple. There's a couple good ones for sure.
No, I refuse.
This one is April Fool's themed because
Oh, I dig it. Okay.
April Fool's is coming up.
It is.
So first one, best prank you ever pulled for April Fool's.
Ooh. Oh, I'm not sure I can tell him.
That's probably one of the.
I'm gonna be lame here. I don't even remember any of that. I typically don't really participate.
Even
in
as
that.
a kid, you never really pranked anybody, or
So,
were you pranked?
I
Was
kid-
there a prank pulled on you?
My kid times were a long time ago.
I think the first time I pulled an April Fool's joke is still my favorite.
Okay.
I pretty much, it's actually a bit rough. I pretty much emptied a whole kid's school bag and another whole kid's school bag and put them in each other's bags. Like everything from one kid's bag, went out of his bag into another kid's bag, and vice versa.
And the
And
kid
so,
gets home. Wondering where's
Yeah.
the permission slips?
where's his stuff?
Yeah.
Stuff's not there. And they both came next to school the next day and figured it out. It was funny.
Okay.
That's the only legal one I can tell
The
you.
only legal one, yeah. We got to keep it PG here, a legal one, because I know.
I have no formal criminal record. I like to say it that way.
Yeah, keep it that way for sure. To keep it clean for me, one of the ones I did was, I think it was grade 7 or 8. When we were forced to take a home ec class, and this was before I was interested in much of that stuff. So we learned how to sew, cook. I got pretty good at it, by the way. I actually am good at sewing and cooking, and I'm not ashamed of that. I'm very good at it. My wife loves it. But
That's good.
one of my buddies,
It's apocalypse skills.
one of my buddies had a backpack that was always ripped, and I always made fun of him for it. So I actually took a block of blue cheese, put it in the tear, and then I sewed it up. And didn't tell him.
That's beautiful. I love that.
Gross.
It got pretty nasty.
Yeah.
And I actually forgot about it when he started complaining about his smell. No, I had to throw it out, man. It stunk. I don't know why.
Amazing. Paul, you got 2 seconds. No,
I got nothing. No,
Got
I'm
nothing?
very lame.
You're just wholesome. Love it.
So wholesome.
Yep. What's next?
Make a prank that a 40K TO could pull on their players.
Ooh.
That's
I think,
that's a good one. So you could do something along the lines of make everyone reverse the pips for one round of a mission.
Oh, that'd be cool. 6s are 1s, 1s are 6s.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then it goes, like 5s or 2s and so on and so forth. The only safe number is a 3.5.
Make people play the relic. Round 6. What is it, guys? It's the relic. Hey, everyone's favorite. Yeah. Oh, cool.
I got some great stories about the relic. Some of the most fun I've had playing Warhammer.
The relic was actually a fun mission to play. I know.
No. You all shut up. The relic was either a meme factory or a non-event, and you guys are all just remembering like the one meme factory game where you got to have fun.
You think I'm going to remember all the bad ones?
Not the 60 times your opponent cast invisibility, got on at turn 1, and the game was freaking over. That's what.
I guess it depends on which edition the relic is coming from.
That's true.
Like when you could bring down Logan and Arjak and have them land on the relic and then walk it in, and I would walk it into the opponent's deployment zone. Come get it.
Just chat them. Just be like, what you gonna do, big boy? Let's go. I had someone do that to me with Lysander, which is really funny. There was some fun stuff. But yeah, that'd be my prank. Have everyone play the relic.
I would think just like have a player pack that is from a different event, but don't say anything. Just have the player pack there for everybody from a different event, and completely deny that it was.
Or walk up, like, okay, we're 45 minutes to the round. Has everyone placed your relic? Has everyone got the relic on? Is everyone okay? Look, I'm gonna come by and table to table. Has anyone got the?
It's a good one. Just
people flipping through mission. What's happening?
So you want to do something that wouldn't just cause games to be like a non-event? Like you wouldn't want to just change the deployment zones to be like they used to be, so everyone's like starting like 12 inches away from each other.
You should never follow through. That's why it has to be like midway.
By the way, everybody, round 1 night fight rules are in effect.
Yes, yeah, that kind of shit.
And remember, everyone, round 5 is night fight. It's,
that would be.
And then all the kids in the room are like, "What's a night fight?"
Yeah, I would love to do that.
And then all the meme old guys are like, "Well, I still got searchlights built on my freaking chimeras. I guess we're good to go."
I guess we're good. KR NAS scheduled tournament, nothing there. Doors locked last time UTO, but a legend. That's too close to home, man, because that happened around here like recently. It wasn't a prank either.
Oh shit! He just took the money. Oh wow.
It was bad. Anyway,
next topic.
So remember guys when I said about the tournament, the Australian tournament being streamed? I think the runner of that tournament, Australia's Tabletop Wargaming Network, bit of a wordy name.
Oh, there you go. Click on it right now in chat. There it is. You can go find it. Click on it. Go watch it there.
That guy is where you want to go to watch that event.
Perfect.
And you definitely should go and watch it and support some good old Australian content. All right, what's the next one? Sorry.
The next one is, did GW get you with the Votan April Fool's joke last year and rate it out of 10?
What was it again?
They basically were showing Votan just leading up on April Fool's, so people assumed it was fake.
Ah, yes. Yeah, and they did the double take.
Yeah, they did the double take.
I like that. That was good.
I did not get gotten by that prank.
No, I did.
Because
100%.
I wonder why that was for.
Yeah, I wonder why it was.
You may have been working for G-Dub, possibly.
I wonder why that was.
I didn't get got by it.
No, did you know
What
ahead
would
of time
be-
too?
Kinda.
See, I didn't know. I got pretty hard. There's and even when they said no, seriously, this is happening. I still like no, it's not. Whatever.
Yeah, it's like no, they're doubling down. It's like they're trying to catch the folks in.
Well, they're
another time
due,
zone.
right? What do they think they're going to do this year? We got a minute. What are they going to do for April Fools this year?
Oh, okay.
What was the? I forget what the best one. Something. It was like a spray or something that was.
The airbrush.
Yeah.
The airbrush.
Well, no, like a specific paint or whatever that they occasionally roll out. I'm drawing a blank, but
like contrast paint.
no, there's a vast wealth of things they could draw from to get us, and so you gotta keep your eyes peeled for something that's.
Yeah, it was water. It was water. That's what it was. It was premium water for diluting.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
That
was great.
Well, they could do some kind of joke with Old World, which they better not. That won't be funny.
They better not. Don't play with
man,
my heart.
Don't play with that.
Blood up.
You hear us, GW? Do not play with Old World, man. That is not okay. That's like talking about your grandma. You don't do that. That's off limits.
Don't play.
Off limits.
just they should announce like Willie and the Charlie and the Chocolate Factory like experience for the golden ticket holders.
Oh yeah! Oh my
be like,
god!
You will be thrown into a vat of resin.
Oh my god!
Like Augustus Glump in the resin river.
Don't eat the Ultramarines.
Can we do next week's Fuego is us designing what the Warhammer 40 like the Warhammer
Willy Wonka traps. Yeah.
Oh, I like that. Let's do
good.
that. We're gonna do that.
Time, we're Fuegoing this up.
We already found next Fuegos. We found the next week's Fuego already. Perfect.
10 out of 10 on that one.
The greatest prank or trick ever pulled in 40k lore.
It has to be the Deceiver tricking all the Necrons to like literally killing themselves. Yes. It has to be, right?
That was actually pretty good.
There's a whole race. There's a whole a whole species, and he's just like, "Yo, dogs, wouldn't you like to kill yourselves?" And they're all like, "Yeah,
we do."
Wouldn't you like your souls to be owned exclusively by me? They're like, "Yeah."
It's actually. Yeah, it's actually really. If you haven't read that story or like know about that lore, it was sad. It was it was a little sad, but it was actually Deceiver's a jerk.
Oh, dude, he deserved everything he gets. But
I'm going to Council in IKEA. It's
that's a good one too.
Yeah, they're like, hey, no psychic powers, and get that guy. Wait a second, everybody bring the psychic powers back. Yeah, sorry.
Lucas the Trickster. I don't know any of his fluff, and I'm assuming he's called the Trickster just for Norse mythology's goodness. But yeah, I wonder if he's got anything good to his fluff. But so theoretically, right, is the greatest pyramid scheme in the history of any lore the Necron tier? Are you guys like? As soon as I'm thinking about that, like, my God, that's just max marketing. That's a pyramid scheme. Literally,
put your souls into this. Everything's
literally,
gonna be
they do make pyramids too.
Yeah, they make pyramids, and it was just like funneling all souls into the top.
Wow, that is the core origin of pyramid schemes. Necrons.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
You learned so much history here on the Thursday show, guys. This is exactly what you came here for. I know it is.
Australia's network, Cypher and his disappearing act. That's a good one too.
Yeah, that's a good one too. I mean, the Eldar actually intending to make Slaanesh, like summon Slaanesh.
Yes.
I bet some of them said, "Hey, you're about to make Slaanesh." They're like, "Ain't stopping me.
Ain't stopping me. I'm fine. I'm good. Go, man. It's fine."
Man, I love murdering just too much.
Yeah,
stop making this chaos god.
I'm fine with this. That's Fuego. And the last one: create a 40k army conversion worthy of April Fools.
Ooh.
Oh, that Necron army that was out of sprues was a pretty good one.
That was clever. That was clever.
Yeah.
I played so in my younger years at a fantasy event. I got into a very heated argument and almost threw down with a bloke because his army of wood elves was predominantly pieces of tree and bark with blue tack stuck to bases.
What
love
styles
it.
I've seen? The War
Yeah.
Hamster Army, where they've had hamster heads.
Oh my god! Wow.
That's pretty good.
One of my favorites that I ever saw was Tyranid army who had gene stealers in it. That was actually, it was Imperial Guard guys with genes above their head, and
Oh, yes.
their model was running.
Yes. Yes, that is hilarious. I love that so much.
The Pant Thieves.
The Pant Thieves.
Incredible.
That one
The
was really
memes.
good.
I've seen all the orcs ones that are just like boxes and crates with no orcs in ear and stuff written on it.
Yeah. Oh, I like the stealth,
That's a good
the
one.
Tau stealth suits that were just a base.
That's just a base.
Just a base.
I do like those as well. They're pretty funny.
Those you can't get mad about those ones. Like yeah, it's like, sure, it's a stealth suit. I mean, okay.
So good.
Any other good? You see like mass army ones that like basically this is a Smurf army that's on screen
Yeah.
for those of you that can't see it, like an actual Smurf army.
I've seen Lego. I've seen Lego armies before.
Lego.
I like it when the bit gets committed to.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yes.
If you go hard into it, I've
yeah.
seen like geometric shapes be demons and stuff like that. I'm cool with it. I mean,
I'm actually cool with it. Yeah. I mean, I was actually down with the Lego stuff. It had all the right proportions, and it cost about the same as freaking buying them from GW anyway. So it's not like you're shortchanging yourself financially. I'm down with it. They were like on the right. They were the right size, right silhouette. Looked hilarious, and yeah, it's funny.
Beautiful.
Hey,
That is Fuego, and
That's
that
it.
is the end.
that is it. Hey, folks, thanks a lot for watching live. Thanks a lot for listening after the fact if you catch us on YouTube or what have you. I will say the next time you hear from us, we are going to be on a different channel. We're going to have links. Look for links from myself. You can find me at Warmaster_TPM or Fights with Dice on Instagram. You can actually find us on Forge the Narrative Facebook page. You can find us at Adam Camilleri's Art of War Down Under. Doesn't Hinshaw Starter Scrub. We're going to be posting links to where you can find the Meta Show coming up pretty soon, i.e. next week. We got some stuff planned, but I meant it sincerely when I said an absolute pleasure hanging out on the FLG
sure.
network and doing this and the hosting and then, getting to go and doing all this. I mean, from my heart, it's been awesome.
And this isn't any affiliation with Frontline Gaming. We'll still be affiliated with Frontline Gaming.
Absolutely.
We're just kind of doing our own thing now. We're going to stand alone as our own show. We're going to be on a couple of different networks as well. We're spreading out our wings, so to speak. And what are we called now, boys? What's
Well,
this
you got to stay
called?
tuned for that. Got to wait a couple days for that.
Oh, he's holding it back. He's holding it back.
And look for some stuff. It might be some T-shirts involved. They got to be. Look, seriously, we got some stuff.
Yeah.
All right, but don't worry. You will find the links on the places that I just told you or mentioned, and check us out. Hit us up on our personal pages too if you go a couple weeks and don't see us or whatever. We're going to keep bringing you the pulse of the Warhammer meta. Look forward to doing it. With that said, it has been amazing. It's an amazing show. Love hanging out with y'all. Love hanging out with y'all in chat. We'll see you all next week.
See you
See you
next
next
week.
week.